How much? A third of the way? Okay, water is less dense.
Yeah, it would go up like 76 times like 13.
So it's going to go further than 760. Do you think it would go more than a meter?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
More than 2 meters? Would it surprise you to know that if you had an evacuated glass tube and you put it into a column of water, it would drive that water up 10 meters, 31 feet. 10 meters, 31 feet. That's how much pressure the atmosphere puts on water. If you want to simulate that, this is a 1 kilogram mass. If you want to simulate another atmospheric pressure, you just take your fingertip, which is going to be about a square centimeter, and put this on your fingertip. That simulates another atmospheric pressure. You can handle it, but not for a long time. You wouldn't be comfortable for a long time. But that would simulate another atmospheric pressure. 1 kilogram, which is a 10 Newton mass, on 1 square centimeter. Pretty cool. Okay, how are we doing about this? Does stuff make sense? Give me okay, question.
What does like torr mean?
Torr is a named unit. So we name units for people. So a torr is just a named unit, which means 1 millimeter of mercury.
Oh, okay. So it's 1 millimeter.
Yeah. So when you get your blood pressure taken, it'll be like 120 torr over 90 torr, which is 120 millimeters of mercury over 90 millimeters of mercury. So it's just a named unit. There's a bunch of named units in science. We're like, we like you, we'll name it. So like Pascal is a named unit. The Pascal is a Newton per square meter. We just named unit Pascal. Okay. Make sense so far? Question?
Okay, so in the ocean, like there's the pressure that when you go lower and lower, like it'll crush you.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that? Like why is it different from the air?
Okay, so good question, excellent question. If you swam down, remember that 10 meters of stuff? If you swam down 10 meters, 31 feet, you would also encounter a second atmosphere of pressure. So you're at the water level, you have 1 atmosphere of pressure, you swim down 10 meters, now you have 2 atmospheres of pressure, another 10 meters, 3 atmospheres of pressure, and the reason there is that pressure is because all the molecules are pushing on themselves. So the molecules right here are pushing the molecules down below it. So the molecules of air here are pushing the molecules down air here. If you put your head right here, Pascal's principle says changes in pressure are transmitted where?
Everywhere.
Everywhere. So that's why if you swim down, that increased pressure transmits all over your body, into your ears, eyes, nose, everything. Yeah?
So when you like clear your ears, that just like relieves the pressure, or how does that?
Okay, so
work?
popping, like popping your ears,
Yeah.
you have tubes called the eustachian tubes, which run from your sinuses and your throat and your nose up to your ears, right behind your eardrum. So here's your eardrum doing its bouncy thing when sound comes in. We talk about this in physics. And the eustachian tubes come in behind it. And what happens is normally the eustachian tubes are closed. That way you can hear better. But sometimes if there's more pressure behind your eardrum won't be able to flex very well. So your eustachian tubes open to equalize the pressure in front of the eardrum and outside the eardrum. Make sense? That's why you yawn, and that when you yawn, you kind of stretch your eustachian tubes, so you can kind of force the issue. Yeah, we talk about that when we do sound waves in physics too. Other questions? If you're ready to move on, give me a thumbs up. If you want to talk about it some more, wave your hand around. Moving on. Okay, the last unit is the inch of mercury. So we use the same thing. I don't know why we still use inches of mercury, because we currently use millimeters of mercury in the medical field, but we use inches of mercury in meteorology. And every year I ask Alexa to give me the atmospheric pressure, and she never does, but Siri will. Somebody ask Siri what today's atmospheric pressure is.
Ask what?
Ask Siri what today's atmospheric pressure is.
Siri, what's the atmosphere?
If I ask Alexa, she'll define it for me. It's defined as, I'm like, that doesn't help me.
30.17
30.17
Inches of H.
inches of mercury. Good. So today's atmospheric pressure is 30.17 inches of mercury, which is a little high. And if you ever watch a news report, they put a big H where it's sunny, high pressure. High pressure makes the clouds go away. It's not the other way around. The clouds don't produce the weather, the clouds are the effect of the weather. So the high pressure in our environment makes the clouds go away. And 30.1 or 30.2 is a little bit high pressure. Okay, question?
It says it can't get the parametric
I don't know. Because that is the barometric pressure. The barometric pressure today, wherever it thinks you are, is about 30.2, which is a little on the high side, which is why it's sunny.
So it's for the entire day.
Okay, now, does this make sense, these pressure units?
Yeah.
What you need to be able to do is convert between the two of them.
Oh.
So if I said, how many millimeters of mercury is 4, make it really simple, 4 atmospheres. 4 atmospheres is how many millimeters of mercury? This is how you do it. What goes in this box right here?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Yay.
What goes in this box down here?
The atmosphere.
Yeah, the previous unit, or the atmosphere. So then you just plug in what equals 1 atmosphere.
760.
Yep. 760 millimeters of mercury and 1 atmosphere. And you can do this math, right? Okay, just so you can do this math, if you don't have a calculator, get one. We're going to do one more together, and then we'll call it a day. And Alex, can you press the button again, please?